Good afternoon, or should I say good evening. This is a Sunday, wonderful Sunday um, evening here. We have some two special guests on the show, uh, Joey Gomes and Jamil Mahous. But before I introduce these gentlemen, wonderful gentlemen, please call into the show to voice your opinion. Call in at 339-235-6774. We'll get you online to voice your opinion on the show. We have an interesting topic to talk about today, and I hope you guys will enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. This is the Outsiders podcast every Sunday now. Um 339-235-6774. Feel free to call in during the show, in the middle of the show, after the show. Call in, we'll get you live to voice your opinion. We have something interesting today, but before I do, Joe Gomes, how you doing today? And Jamil Mahous, how you guys
Hey
doing today? Let's
man,
start with you, Joe.
what's up, man? Good afternoon, Hamilton. First of all, thanks to the Outsiders podcast for having me on. Hopefully, we could get into a couple of things and make things a little bit more clearer from three different perspectives, three different points of views, and just make the world easy, man.
Exactly. Hey, Jamil, how you doing?
Feeling good in the neighborhood. Uh, hope that hope that I'll be able to make a contribution to the topic and have the audience get a better understanding of friendship and loyalty, as well as their own experiences. Maybe it will resonate with theirs, and you call in. Maybe your experience will resonate with mine and with ours. So hope this is going to be a good and pleasurable session for
Yes,
all of
yes,
us.
yes, indeed. So today's topic, I'm going to put the slide on the screen today. Who's really in your corner? Friendship, silence, and true support. This is the main idea of the show. I brought two folks on the show, Joey and Jamil, with their perspective and ideas. And I would like people to call in with their perspective and ideas. So let's talk about this. Who's really in your corner? Friendship, silence, and true support. Call in 339-235-6774. Feel free to interrupt this podcast to voice your opinion. We are live here. And we're going to start off with the first, but before we start off, here's the outline of the show. Understanding real support and friendship, the impact of silence and hidden support, growth, discernment, and real connection. And then we're going to have a closing reflection on this topic. So we're going to start with Joey about understanding real support and friendship. And the first question is the core question is who's really in your corner with regards to redefining friendship, support in difficult times, clarity, and boundaries. Go ahead, Joey.
All right. Well, it's a good question. Who's in your corner? And a lot of people don't realize who's in their corner, who's not in their corner, and that could muddy the lines of friendships. You see what I'm saying? Um, we all have different expectations because we all have different personalities. So, as a friend, I might expect one thing from you, but you don't expect that from me, and that's okay, right? And I think that those are the ways where you intertwine and find that common friendship to build on. Most of the time, friendships start in school, places where you're forced to be around people, right? So your neighborhood, if you go outside and play, or your schools, we don't choose as kids, and you learn to build these friendships. Some friendships are they start at a very, very young age, and some friendships don't begin until you're an adult. So it all depends on what level of friendship are you talking about. But who's in your corner should be somebody that you can say anything to. Anything. It could be outrageous. It could be um, uplifting, it could be disparaging, and they'll still see you as a friend. You see what I'm saying? That's who's in your corner. Now, how we identify that, that is a whole other ball of wax. Because we're all individuals. So what might work for me might not work for you. You see what I'm saying? So, but we can learn from each other. We can learn from different perspectives and try different things. And maybe what you thought was difficult really isn't. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like friendship, man. It's a touchy situation, man. It's a very, very, and it's a fragile situation as well.
Well put. So let's ask Jamil his opinion on the core question: who is really in your corner? Redefining friendship, support in difficult times, clarity and boundary. Jamil, go ahead.
Well, here's the thing with friendship. It's like a miracle of human life. It's a quiet miracle, of human life. It's like the people who choose us for friendship, it's not because they must or they have to. It's because there's something in our character, something about us that resonates with theirs. You understand what I'm saying? True friendship, like they see our rough edges, they see our faults, they see our shortcomings, and yet they stay anyway. They still stay with us, you know. In the bad times, even when we're wrong, they stay with us. And when I have our victory, they celebrate without envy. And if we lose, they still stay with us without judgment. So that's for me, that's friendship. That for me is the definition of friendship. Now, when you come to loyalty, who's in your corner? Loyalty is more about who's in your corner. So loyalty becomes the proof of that friendship. Right? It becomes the proof of that friendship. Is that presence in your life, that steady, unwavering presence into your life. When circumstances shift for you, they're still with you. When misunderstandings arrive, when the world becomes loud and uncertain, they're still in your corner, they're still there. You still can hear their voice. They'll pick up the phone and call and say, hey, that situation, did you solve? Is that sorted out? Things like that, they're not going to stay away because you're not in a bad situation. That's the proof of that friendship, that loyalty. But it's not blind, like a blind loyalty, a blind obedience. It's that's not what people think. If you're loyal, it's just blind. You're just blindly following somebody. It's not that. It's a commitment. It's a commitment to stand with someone because you believe in who that person is, in that person's core. Together, these two things, friendship and loyalty, that's the bond. That's the bond that makes us stronger, not out of convenience, but out of understanding. That's the bond. And with loyalty and friendship, if that bond is strong in every group, in every friendship, it will make the community so much stronger. But,
Interesting.
mhm.
Interesting. Folks that are tuning in, this is the Outsiders Podcast. Hamilton Rodriguez as your host. We got Joe Gomes, DJ J Spinner, and Jamil Mahous. Feel free to call in at 339-235-6774. Voice your opinion. We're just now getting started, warming up. And our next topic question here is we're going to talk about redefining what it means to be in your corner. Consistent support over words, protecting reputation, loyalty versus proximity, shared growth, not just history. Joey, let's get your side of the story on this.
Well, for me, I think for you to be in my corner, it's not a blanket statement of no matter what I do, you have to support me. It's not a blanket statement. You can support me on the good things I do. You could support me on things that you don't agree with. But real true friends will not support you when you're 100% wrong. And you know better. And you know better. You see what I'm saying? So I don't want somebody in my corner who will stand up for me just because I'll stand up. Right. It's not a quid pro quo. It's not because I stand up for you, you have to stand up for me. I stand up for who I believe in. And if you're in my corner, I would hope that you believe in me. Now, the people that I would want in my corner, I don't want to put no burden on them. Because they're my friends and because I care them. So even though I know you're in my corner, I wouldn't want to put a burden on you. But it feels good that if I slip, my corner is going to encourage me, coach me, and build me up. Don't do it for me. Build me up. You know, hey, you got this. If you need a hand, you know, because people say, hey, if you need anything, give me a call. But you know, that is the one of the most disingenuous things that you could tell somebody. Because you really don't want them to call you. You're saying it to be nice. You see what I'm saying? The people that are in my corner, they don't have to tell me that. I already know it. So, to me, to be in my corner, just, you know, I'd rather you just tell me what it is. If I'm doing something wrong, maybe in that moment it's not a good time, but immediately after that, hey, Joe, yo, you was wrong, man. Yeah, we ain't gonna do that. Because they know what I'm capable of, and they know that I'm better than that. That's why they're telling me that. You see what I'm saying? So you have to really look at, you shouldn't want a lot of people in your corner. Because the more people you think in that you have in your corner, it's the more people that's going to end up disappointing you. Because your corner is not tight. It's not secure. It's open. So I would not want a lot of people in my corner. Because I think it waters it down. You know what I mean? You have friends, you have associates, and then you have
seasonal
people
friends
you deal with. Right. You know. And you know, the seasonal friends, you see me at Home Depot, you stop for 5 minutes. Hey, how you doing? This and that, whatever goes on. Yeah, I'll come and check you. But none of you guys will ever call each other for the next time until you see at Home Depot or Stop and Shop. And nobody holds each other to that phone call. You see what I'm saying? It's a mutual thing. You know, it's a mutual thing. So, like, the people that, for me, I would rather be in my corner and don't tell me you're in my corner. Show up. Just show up. 90% of the times, I'm going to be good. But in that 10% of the time, you see them coming a mile away. So it's got to be very tight. And I don't put expectations on people because I understand fatherhood. I understand what it's like to have a significant other. I understand to have all different types of issues which life presents to us in its own special way. Medically, mentally, emotionally. It's a lot of stuff. So it's one of those things, man, where I think the people that are in my corner, I thank God for them. I truly thank God for them. They know who they are. I don't have to call it out. I don't have to say it, but they know if it's 2:00 in the morning, I got to call somebody, he's going to pick up the phone. even if he just picks up the phone and say, "Yo, man, why you calling me? I'm sleeping." But I just want to make sure you are. You know what I mean? Because I'll cuss you out if you call me at 2 a.m. But guess what? I gotta pick up the phone first. Before I cuss you out, I gotta pick up the phone. You see? So if I'm not in your corner, I'll wait till the next time I see you. Hey, don't you ever call my house at 2 o'clock in the morning, man? I don't give a damn what you doing. You know what I mean? But if I pick up the phone first and then cuss you out, I'm still in your corner. You know what I mean? Because I picked up the phone. You know? So I think corners should be very tight. You need your corners to be tight, and you need the people behind you. You know, a close fist is very, very strong. And it only takes 5 fingers. You see what I'm saying? But we have 10. So if I put these two together, I can't hit you as hard.
That's
right.
deep.
But if I got just this right here, it's tight, it's concise, everything fits where it's supposed to fit. Now I can hit you. You see what I'm saying? Whether it's with love, whether it's physically, whether it's with love, whether it's with motivation, it's got to be short, quick, and precise. You see what I'm saying?
I gotcha.
That's what it is to me.
Interesting. So, folks that are tuning in, feel free to call 339-235-6774. That's 339-235-6774. The number's right here at the bottom of the screen. Feel free to call in. Now we're going to go and listen to Jamil Mahousa's opinion, redefining what it means to be in your corner, consistent support over words, protecting reputation, loyalty versus proximity, shared growth, not history. Jamil, what do you have to say about this?
Oh Lordy. Well, you know, Joe hit it right on the money. You want to have your circle small, and I've noticed a lot of the people who are successful, they have a small circle of friends. They know a lot of people. They have a lot of acquaintances, a lot of associates and stuff. But their core people, the people that hang out with their kids, with their families, the people they call in the middle of the night, it's a small circle, you know. All of them, Steve Jobs, all of these people, their core circle, their core group of friends are very small. They can hold it and count it in one hand, you know, like I always said the first. So if you're going to be stabbed in the back, if those associates and those people in your network, if they stab you in the back, you're not going to feel that much disappointed in them. It's not going to hurt you that much. You're not going to feel down because they're not your core group. But because your core group is so small, you know what I mean? It's not a lot of people that's going to stab you in the back, and you'll be able to see it from afar when it comes. Like, you know, because there's a small circle. But like I say, you don't want to put myself, I believe that you don't want to put that burden on your friends that they have to be loyal to you at times when they themselves are weak. Because we're human beings. Your best friend, your closest friend can slip up at one point and not have your back. But it's not because he's disloyal. It's just because that he might or she might be going through some shit at that time. And they don't have the strength to stand up for you. You see, that's why, like Joe said, you shouldn't put undue burden on that close circle. You need to understand that they're human too. And that's why for myself, I really don't depend on people to have my back. If you have my back, I remember that for life. If I find myself in the worst situation and you stand up for me or you sew up for me, I will remember you forever. I have had people where I stand up in court when the person that I do everything for, everything, when that person that nobody would be called to the witness stand to testify against me. And I didn't even know that person is going to be the one testifying against me. Do you know how messed up that is? You stand in court and the judge can sentence you to 100 years, and you know you are going to walk out of here free, man. But your best friend, this one that's with you almost every day, stand up, get called up in court to stand and testify against you.
And look you in the face and do it, right?
And look you straight in the face and do it and get a kick out of it, because all along when you thought that person was with you, that person was busy envying you. That person was busy holding a grudge against you, because when you go to the club, you get a beautiful girl. You get the ugly one. You know what I mean? When you you know what I mean? Things like that. And you didn't know they married you for that. You thought it's just two guys hanging out and having a good time. You know? Stand up there
Wow.
and testify against you like that. And for me, I was just lucky
It's
to
the
walk
truth.
out of there. I was just lucky to walk out of that court, because that white man would have sent me away. I had to tell the court, I had to tell the judge what I did for this one that's testifying against me. I tell the judge, when he had no accommodation, I gave him a place to sleep. When he didn't have food, I gave him food. When they kicked him out of school, I went to school to talk to the principal to keep him in. All the stuff that we go through that I did for him, and I testify. And then the judge say, you know what? I think this guy's lying. I think he's lying, because all the stuff that the judge said, he's upset. The judge said, you know, I do psychology, I know a little psychology. The judge said, he's upset because you were in a position to do all those things. You know?
Jealousy comes from
Yeah,
friendship.
you do it
Jealousy
for
always
him, but
comes
he's
from
upset
friendship.
that you were in a position to do those things. So the judge, maybe the judge didn't believe him, but it just shows you don't put that burden on people unnecessary. This kid was weak. You know, I didn't know he was weak. So, you know, and if they disappoint you, take it and learn a lesson from that. Because people, there's always going to be people who disappoint you. But, you know, like, loyalty is a choice. You know, it's like, you know, it's a choice that you make to stay loyal, to stay with this person no matter what. You're going to stay through difficulty with this person. That proximity is just a convenience, you know? So the guy we were like very close, so the proximity for him was always just a convenience for him. You know what I mean? But when he had to make the choice to choose loyalty, he chose disloyalty. Can I blame
Well, he
him?
was loyal. He was loyal to himself.
He was loyal to himself. He chose loyalty to himself, you know? So these are the kind of things, you know, you be careful who you put in your corner. Hamilton always said that, be careful who you put in your corner. You know what I mean? Be careful, yeah, who you put in your corner. For me, a person can call me 3 o'clock in Hamilton, though he call me 3 o'clock in the morning. But my friends can call me 3 o'clock in the morning.
Not Joey though.
But I never call them. I never call my friends 3 o'clock in the morning. I never do that, because
I'm gonna,
you know why? I cannot put that burden that just because you call me 3 o'clock in the morning, I shouldn't put that burden on you that, oh, you have to pick up when I call. That's putting a burden and undue expectations on you, you know, and undue expectations for
that's
yourself.
quid pro quo.
Yeah, there's quid pro
Quid pro
quo.
quo.
It works. Because it don't work,
Yeah.
quid pro quo, you know. It's not that I was here, I scratch your back, you scratch my back. That's not friendship.
Mm-hmm.
That's quid pro quo, you know. Hamilton called me 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. You know, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And guess what? I listen, I let him talk until it's time that I cannot listen anymore. I say, hey, Hamilton, I got to get up for work in the morning. I got to well, I never called him.
All right.
Because I can't do quid pro quo. But then there's some other things that I will go to Hamilton for, you know. There's other things I will go to him for. That I know if he comes to me for the same things, I won't be able to help him with that. because I don't have that. I'm not in that position to help. But he's in a position to help me with that. But I can't help him with similar. But I'm in a position to listen to that phone call 4 o'clock in the morning. But I'm not going to expect him to be in that same position. See, that's friendship, not quid pro quo. Just because he did for you,
Yes.
I did for you, so you should do for me now. That's not friendship. That's not how
Right.
it's supposed to
Right.
go in life, you know. Friendship is not undue expectations and undue burdens, like you said, placing undue burdens on your friends. I don't know, I talk a lot, but I talk.
No, you're good. You good.
Oh yeah, like you, Joey,
it's,
right? Like Joe, you proved to me loyalty. You prove it to me. That night when we were in that fight,
yeah, yeah,
that night when we were in the fight,
yeah,
you had my back right there. You had
yeah.
my back, you had my back. You know, like you say, you punched the guy out. The guy jumped up. He's so confused. He ran away. He came back with the police. He had my back, you know.
Hamilton.
Yeah.
This guy right here, after everything is said and done, we're on the ride home. He says, that was fun.
He had a lot of fun, you
But
know.
we was, but in all reality, we was put in a position because one thing, we was both at work.
Yeah.
That's one aspect of it. Another aspect of it, trying to do the right thing, we actually put ourselves in danger.
In danger by trying to do the right thing.
But, and this is what I tell people, respect is given. I can't work with you the whole day and we joke around, we laugh, we have a good time, and then turn around and walk away and not know what's going on with Jamel. I can't do that.
You can't do that.
So, and if I do that, I go home, I'm the one that's not going to sleep. My conscience is going to play. So I say, hey, we're here. We work together. I think we was leaving together at the same. I believe we was leaving all together.
Together, yeah. But there was people on the yacht who didn't want to leave, and we did.
There was drinking.
Stuff,
yeah. Yeah. But so whatever the case may be, that was a situation that men understood. As men, we understand. We don't want it to be this way, but if it has to be this way, we're men. You see what I'm saying? And that's just me who I am, and that's just you who you are. That has nothing to do with loyalty of each other. That's just you being you and me being me. That's it.
That's it.
You see what I'm saying?
But when you had
if you was different,
you had
it. We have to. That's what it is.
Yep.
I don't need people. I can't do that. I can't shake your hand and then walk away. Then I won't shake your hand in the beginning. You know?
It's true. I can't do that either. Yeah. I can't shake your hand and then when the sun goes down, then I abandon you. I can't, abandon you at the end of the day.
Yeah. You don't do that. You don't do that to people. I wasn't raised like that. And unfortunately, in this world, a lot of people sign up for things, and then when the boat get rocking, they don't want to be on the boat no more.
They abandon ship.
They abandon ship, but they don't realize they're gonna drown when they jump off the boat. The safest place to be is on the boat.
And they wear the life jackets out too.
That's it. You know,
and the one they abandoned, they have the key to the life jackets. Yeah.
That's what it is. I mean, so it's crazy because we value friendships, and we all have friends who are in a similar circle, and then we have friends who are outside of that circle completely.
Yeah.
Just on a whole, it's like I have a coworker that I work with, and you know, we've been coworkers for a long time, but I consider him a friend because we always have a good time. We laugh, we look out for each other. He look out for me, I look out for him. You see what I'm saying? I don't get nothing for looking out for him. He don't get nothing for looking out for me. It's just a mutual respect. And we built friendship because of our work ethic. It's our work, and that's what I said, how sometimes as adults you build friendships. Now, because we're similar in our work ethic, and we get the job done, right? We get the job done. And then you start having conversations, and then we start realizing that, hey, my dad said the same thing your dad said.
So
Holy
you have
crap.
shared values.
We start
shared values.
now we start sharing, shared values, shared commonalities, right? And then you go from there, right? And one day I was doing a job, and it was next door to his wife's job. And he said, "Hey, Joe, stop in and say what's up to her." So I said, "Cool." So I stopped in to say hi to his wife. And the first thing she said to me, I walked up to her, I introduced myself to her, and she said, "You're Joe?" I said, "Yeah, I'm Joe." She said, "You're Dependable Joe?"
That's a cool name.
And then,
Dependable.
but think about that. This man, right, took his work home in a positive.
He valued you so much that he took it home with him.
It's a respect that, like I always tell him, I said, "Dude, you and yours are good in my book. If you ever need me," because he don't have to say that. He don't have to go to home and tell his wife, "Yeah, guy Joe, he's good, he's dependable, he's a good worker." He doesn't have to say any of those things. But that shows me that he respects me. And believe it or not, when I come home, it's the same thing. Hey, my buddy Rich at work, that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? That's my buddy. I speak very highly of him. I respect him. He respects me. And that's a friendship that it wasn't forced. It wasn't anything. It just grew from commonalities. Two people. This is an Italian guy. I'm Cape Verdean. He's Italian. Two different backgrounds. But a commonality. A commonality. And when you have friends like that, that's good living. That's good living.
That's good living. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's good living. You know.
This is getting deep, but we have to go to the next topic. But we just finished up redefining what it means to be in your corner. This was a good discussion about that topic, and I appreciate you guys. But the next subtopic is actions over words, evidence of genuine love, loyalty shown by action, consistency in loyalty, avoiding rationalization, investing trust wisely. Joey, you hit it hard.
So
You're first on this.
Is this shared? Did you share it on Facebook Live?
Yeah, we're live now.
Yeah, we're live.
I'm looking for it, but I don't see it.
It's on my page.
Okay.
Go ahead, Joey.
Okay, go ahead.
What's the question, Hamilton?
Here's a question again, because I know Jamil threw you off. Actions over words, evidence of genuine loyalty. Loyalty shown by action, consistency in loyalty, avoiding rationalization, investing in trust wisely. What are your thoughts on that, Joey?
I think we've hit on a lot of the points, right? of it's not quid pro quo. Friendship isn't quid pro quo. Being burdensome and all of that. I think we hit a lot of those points already.
Points already. Yeah.
But who you should trust, that I'll tell you, man. That's the one that gets you, because I've come to a realization, for someone to hate you, they had to have love for you first.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And that's where that trust. Who do you trust? With what? That's a better question. Because I don't trust nobody with my daughter. Nobody. You see what I'm saying? So it's a funny question. And sometimes you put trust into the wrong people, and we learn the lessons. We learn the lessons in real time. And then it's damage control. The trust issue is very hard, man, in the world that we live in. I mean, there's a lot of people that I could say I have trust in, but unequivocal, because we're human, that's fading. The more further on we get, the whole trust aspect, and it all goes back to, I can't hate you if I didn't love you aspect of it. So trust is, most of the time, I think Bob Marley said it, only your friends know your secret. So it's only he that could reveal it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you put that trust in people, you're blindly walking out on a plank.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know where the end of that plank is, and you got a blindfold when you trust people. Now, there's different types of trust. Building trust is just the little things, man. The actions, which are in this, what we say, what's the actions of a true friend? There's no thing of actions, because we're all different. I've had total strangers pull over and help me change a tire.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had people I thought my friends just drive right by me. You know what I mean? So actions, really, that's if you're looking for friendship. I don't believe in actions. I believe friendship is a moral thing. I think it's a morality thing. I think it's where you come from, how you was raised. Some people never seen their own parents with friends. So they don't know how to become somebody's friend.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like the friendships that we have now, Hamilton, is different than the generation before us.
Interesting.
It's a different camaraderie, and it's not because we don't have those same shared feelings. It's because of this very thing that we're using right now, technology. Remember, people went from going to knock on your door to call you on a landline,
Mm-hmm.
to hit you, to send you an email.
Blackberry.
Now they could just, right, to black, we keep going. And I think the further we go on, the less people you can trust, because the world is changing. You don't see kids. Back in the day, kids were the labor. The kids was the labor. You didn't bring your kids to the store because they wanted to buy something. You brought your kids to the store so they could carry the bags. Yeah, so they could carry the bags. That's what it was. And if you was lucky, you got a lollipop. right? If you was lucky, you got a lollipop.
And if you had good grades and your mother tell the storekeeper you had good grades, you get maybe a soda.
Whole different world.
Whole different world.
Now, whole different world. So I think trust has changed. So my trust, Hamilton, you know, might be different than somebody who's 10 years younger than me, and it'd be different to another person who's 10 years younger than him. You see what I'm saying? We have a mutual trust. Me and you have been friends since I can remember. We have that. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We have that to fall back on. You see what I'm saying? That's built. That's blocks on top of blocks. There's a foundation. There's this and that, whatever. And I know if somebody came to me and said, Hamilton did this, Hamilton did that, Hamilton did this, Hamilton did that. Why are you telling me? Go tell Hamilton.
Exactly.
Why are you telling me? Oh, you're his friend. I know. So the best thing I could do is tell you. Why are you telling me? Right?
Right.
So, like, instead of me going back and forth, right, and indulging it, right? Like, oh yeah? Are you serious? Once you tell them, why are you telling me? They say, oh man, he's really Hamilton's friend. Because I'm not going to take the bait.
He's supposed to say, what?
So somebody, yeah, if somebody come to me and say, Jamel's a coward, I could look at him and say, I don't know what Jamel you're talking about. I don't know. I don't know which one you're talking about. But go find whoever that person is and go tell them that.
Yeah.
Because that's not who I know. Who I know is who I know.
Yeah.
A lot of time people come up. When I used to do the managing, it was funny because people would come up to me and say, I'm going to tell George on you. And I said, George? He said, yeah, the owner, George. That's my cousin. I swear to God, I would laugh so hard. And it's comical how people represent. That's why I say you can't trust people, because people will represent themselves as the best in the world. No thief will come to you and say, hey, I'm a thief, I'm gonna steal from you. They come as a friend. They overly friendly. You know, the trust, the actions, nah. It's the morality for me. I look at your morality. I look at what type of person you are. You know, and if you're a horrible person, then you're just a horrible person. You know what I mean? I'm not perfect by no stretch of the imagination, but I think trust, it's in what you're trusting in them. And if you're not putting burdens on your friends, you don't really have to trust them. Because you're not putting nothing on them to make it that serious. You see what I'm saying? Like, the trust is an emotional thing. You know, I could be mad at my girlfriend and call Jamel and say, this girl drives me crazy. I want to, Jesus Christ. And Jamel could say, hey, Joe, man, calm down, man. Think about it for a second. But other people be like, yeah, man, screw her. She's no good. Yeah, you leave her alone. They don't even know her.
Yep.
They don't even know her. You see what I'm saying? So the trust thing, sometimes it's tough. That word with friendship, if you're in my circle, there should never be a question of trust. for the people that's in my circle. The second trust is an issue, there's no more circle.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I think we got to be aware of our trust. Trust is a virtue. It's something that we have to hold very, very tight, of who we trust, who we trust and who trusts us.
Yes.
Because I don't want to know certain people's problems.
Mhm.
I don't want that responsibility.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Mhm.
Hamilton, if you commit a crime, don't come tell me. Don't come tell me. I'm not gonna tell on you, but the pressure that you're gonna put on me, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I don't want that. I don't want that, and I wouldn't want to put that on anybody. So I wouldn't want to entrust anybody with it.
There's the undue burden that you were talking about. The undue burden.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Undue burden.
I think we hit on all these topics. I think we actually hit on all these topics.
Yeah, you don't have to bring this up, Hamilton, because we're hitting it. Like for instance, people expect you to change your opinion of your own friend depending on who you're talking to. Like somebody come and say, Joe is a coward, and then I'm going to agree because I'm talking to this person now. Another person come to me and say, Joe is a good guy, and I'm going to agree with this person because depending on who I'm talking to. That's not loyalty and friendship. It's got to be consistent.
Can I give you guys an idea? How about when someone comes up to you, Jamil, and says, Joey said this, and that about you. And you pick up the phone, he said, hold on a second. And you call Joey right in front of the person that's talking bad about Joey. Hey, I'm with Joey right now on the phone. And Joey, I'm with so-and-so on the phone. Did you say that's a nice strategy, Yeah,
that's a nice strategy to expose them, to expose the what's it called? But because I know Joe, if somebody tell me Joe say blah blah blah, and that person pick up the phone and say, Joe, did you say that about Jamil? And Joe say the same thing again. And because I know, and Joe is my friend, like I know he's proven himself that he can be a good friend. I'm gonna say to that person, Joe must have a good reason why he's saying that. And when me and Joe sit together, I will find out what that reason is. But right now, I'm not a fortune teller. I cannot look into something. But Joe will tell me, when we get together, he will tell me why he said that. Because there's context. You telling me a story out of context. You let Joe say it on the phone and he's still out of context. So you got to know the context of what's being said. You know what I mean? You can't just be mad at your friend. I'm not going to be mad at you, Hamilton, just because somebody said Hamilton said that and that, and Hamilton said on the phone, not knowing that I'm standing there, Hamilton said the same thing. I'm still going to say there's context in which he said it, and I need to find out the context before I can pass judgment. Because you see, there's these people, they smile with you with their front, but this is what my dad said to me all the time, and my mom, and my father's mother. They smile with you with their front teeth, and they chew their bones with their back. They chew your bones with their back teeth.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
They smile with you with their front teeth while they're chewing your bones with their back teeth.
Hold that thought.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go on to the next. It's gonna hit on that topic. What you're talking about, the impact of silence and hidden support. Okay, so. The silence that speaks the loudest, and we're going to talk about emotional impact of silence, reasons for silence, silence as communication, empowerment through awareness. Okay, you guys get that? So we're going to start with Joey. Okay, and I want you to hit this hard.
Well, as a man. A man's silence is louder than any noise that he can make. You know, there's a saying. It says, "You play stupid games, you're gonna get a stupid prize." You know what I mean? If somebody brings something to me or in front of me, and I don't say something, that person is in danger at that point in time. They're in danger. You know, a killer never yells, "I'm going to kill you." He just does it.
Don't talk, just
You know,
shoot.
that's the mentality of it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to come and tell you what I'm going to do to you. I'm just going to do it. So silence can be very dangerous. It could be wisdom, which is, this is beneath me, so I'm not even going to address it.
Right.
It could be wisdom in the moment, you know, to walk away. Sometimes it's better to walk away. Now, in certain instances, what are you walking away from? Are you walking away from something that's going to hinder you, or are you walking away from something that doesn't pertain in your everyday life, either here nor there? It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? There's reasons to walk away. It's hard to walk away, but there are reasons. Definitely there are reasons. So when you look at the crux of it in this whole intersection as being a man, sometimes your friends don't have to stand up for you. And the reason why they don't have to stand up for you is because they know that no matter what comes out of it, it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
It's not going to work. Person's mind is made up already.
It's not. It's not going to work. Just plain and simple. There's sometimes like, you know what? I ain't going to tell them nothing. Because you can't tell them nothing. So you stay silent. You don't say nothing. But I think the dig is, when you stay silent, you can't be the one to say, "I told you so." And that's a stab in the back. They stay silent, but then they come say, "I told you so." No, you stay silent, stay silent.
You're silent.
You know, pick a side. But silence can be it could, like I said, it could be wisdom. It could be danger. It could be a lot of things, man. It could be a lot of things because, you know, we're talking about friendship. We're talking about loyalty. And friendship and loyalty does not exist without emotions. You see what I'm saying? And then when you put emotions into it, like I said, as a man, if a man gets emotional, somebody can die. If a man gets emotional, somebody could die.
What do they call it? Heat of passion?
Right? No, you know, it's not a heat of passion. Hamilton, I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
When men get emotional and you back a man up in a corner and he hits that panic switch, that's it.
Silence is
and we're wired that way. So it's different. But it's like I said, silence could be such a positive thing, and it could be a very volatile thing. And it all depends on who is on the end of that coin. You see what I'm saying? It's an emotional thing. It's one of the things that nobody could read. I don't think, maybe somebody can answer it. I don't think anybody that's logical can answer that. because they realize what it is from the different angles of what it is. See, you might ask a 21-year-old, "Oh man, yeah, I don't even pay attention to that, whatever," but they don't see no wisdom yet. They don't see that. Hey man, real men really get it in. Real men, like when you walk the streets, think about this. You're not gonna let no man take you out of your path. Why would you? Now, you will move aside for a man if he's coming and he has a couple of bags and you step aside and let him by, because we have empathy, right? But you wouldn't let a man just walking freely come and just walk straight into you. And in that little silence right there, that's where either wisdom comes in or danger comes in. And that's how far apart it is. And then there's all these other things in between it. You know what I mean? So silence, a person's silence can be a lot of things, man. It could be a lot of things, man.
Jamil,
Joe,
about that?
So, if the way everything you said there is almost like you grew up in the same environment with me in Cape Town. On the Cape Flats, you spoke just like the OGs speak on where I'm from. Okay, on the Cape Flats, there's a saying going on the streets in Cape Town: silence is violence. Some guys have been tattooed on their neck. Silence is violence. You know, they have been tattooed on their neck. Silence is violence. A lot of people on the streets. So this is the way you sound. You sounded just like you grew up right there. You're from Cape Town. Like you say, when you walk into this guy and the guy say nothing, that silence is dangerous. That silence is violence. He's already contemplating what he can do to you, but he decides not to. In that moment of silence, he's already working out how he's going to take you if it have to come to that. You know what I mean? And he may decide to do it or decide not to do it. So silence, there's a lot of nuances involved with silence. When a person is silent, person can be silent because you already made up your mind about something. So why should I even try to persuade you or dissuade you, because you already made up your mind? So I'm going to just keep quiet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a person say, come to me and say, my friend did this, or my friend did that, and my friend did this. And I realize your mind is already made up about my friend.
Yes.
What's the point in trying to persuade you otherwise or dissuade you? You know what I mean? So I'm going to just keep quiet and let you believe what you want to believe, because your mind is already made up. You know, that one-track minded people.
This is
So
interesting. Keep that thought, Jamil. Keep that thought, because we're going to the next slide. Celebrated in private, ignored in public. So that silence, blends in with this topic here. Celebrated in private, ignored in public, where we have private encouragement, emotional impact, importance of genuine support, and recognizing conditional support. We're going to continue with Jamil before we go to Joey, because Jamil was talking about silence. So let's elaborate on what you're saying, Jamil. Celebrating in private, ignored in public. Go on, Jamil.
Celebrated in private, ignored in public. Yeah, as you know, we are Masons, right? We are Freemasons. So we talk about public morality. We talk about what's it? I forgot the saying now, but it comes down to that: how you behave in public and how you behave in private is two different things, right? So the same comes to when you're praising your friends in public or praising your friend in private. Sometimes praising your friend in public can elicit envy from other people. So sometimes when you find yourself, you said there's a lot of nuances to these things. You find yourself in a circle, in a company, and you say, "Hey man, my friend here, you know what? He just made so much in Bitcoin. It's unbelievable how he could, how he know which one's going to grow. In that company, there might be people there who have a history of being envious of other people's achievements. So that placed my friend in danger. So I need to not do that. So I can tell my friend in private, listen, I'm glad I'm friends with you because what you just displayed here, how you did that Bitcoin thing, it just shows that you're a thinker. And I like to be around people who think, people who work things out. I like to be around people like that. And I was right to look at you as a friend. So there's the private. So now there's nobody else around that's gonna, So now I give my friend the boost in private. Giving that boost in the company in public might place him in some kind of danger. So that boost would become a negative thing for him or for her. But then sometimes you gotta praise your friend in public, because you want everybody to know you're associated with this dude. You know what I mean? You want everybody to know you praise your buddy in front, like, hey man,
That's
just
that guy's a high flying dunking superstar. That's
yeah, So
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
I'm great too by association. You know what? You know what I mean? So there's the public praise, but there's no genuineness in it. Because I'm doing that praise because I want everybody to know I'm associated with him. He's a great guy. That makes me a great guy too. So piggybacking on him, you know what I mean? Public praise. So, and then there's companies like I would sit in the Masonic lodge and praise my brother because I know everybody in there want the best for him. You know what I mean? So it depends on the company, depend on who's there in public praise, who's present. It depends. You gotta use your head before you say these things because you don't want to praise your friend in danger. So that's sometimes it's better not to praise public. Sometimes it's better to praise in private. It's the same way you don't reprimand your friend in public. If your friend do something wrong, you're not gonna right there in public correct him. You're gonna wait till you aside. You're gonna tell him, hey man, I know you're my friend. I know we've been through things and stuff, man. But the thing that you did there, man, that's not cool. That's not cool, and I cannot support that thing. But to say that thing in public, in front of everybody, that moment is doing it wrong. Nah, I would rather when he's wrong there in public and everybody look at him like, what the fuck did it? I would rather try to find a way to justify what his wrongs in public. I would rather find a way to
Yeah.
justify his wrongs, but in private, I'm going to tell him, And while I'm justifying his wrongs, I'm looking bad too, because I'm just trying to justify a wrong. But he's my friend. I'm not going to berate him in front just because everybody's against you. Now I have to be against you too.
Joey.
It's a word.
Joey, give us your side of the story because Jamil's talking some deep stuff here. I want to hear you collaborate with this and elaborate with this.
No. Listen, he just said it. It's not only celebrating. It's not only celebrating. And I think at the beginning of this conversation, I said a true friend is somebody that you could say anything to. You could say anything to them. When they're right, they're right. When they're wrong, they're wrong. When they're foul, you call them out for foul. Whatever it is. But how you do it is the way. Because once you show people on the outside of your inner circle a chink in the armor, that's where they're going to attack. That's where they're going to attack. It's divide and conquer.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody wants to get in between, for instance, me and you, Hamilton, they're going to try to find what me and you have a disagreement with, so they can amplify it, or little jabs, nuance, little pieces of bread to lead you down the road, right? And that's when stupidity comes in, because only stupid people pick up crumbs. I don't look for crumbs. I look for a full plate. I want the plate. I don't want the crumbs. Yeah, I don't want the crumbs. The crumbs are gonna make me more hungry.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah. I like that. I just like the way you put it there with the. I love it.
yeah. So, if you look at it this way, the most vulnerable people in the world are the celebrated successful ones. They're the most vulnerable because everybody that is around them, that person is held accountable. So I'm a rock and roll superstar. Jamel, you're my manager. Hamilton, you're my publicist and my agent, right? And we're all together. If Jamal gonna do something, because I'm the superstar, I'm gonna get the blame. If Hamilton gonna do something, because I'm the superstar, I'm gonna get the blame. Okay. But when they do, if Jamal go out and do something good, I'm gonna get the credit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not he went and did something good on his own. I'm gonna get the credit because it's that association that you was talking about.
It's an extension
So
of you.
Right. So what I say, when people, everybody wants to be rich and famous and powerful, I said, listen, I don't want the famous. I don't want the powerful. I'll take the rich. I know wealthy people that I've worked for, had big contracts. These guys own, I mean, they're set up generationally. This man drives around in a rusted little Toyota pickup truck. He got a little bit of duct tape on his glasses. And he drives up and nobody knows who he is. Nobody knows who he is. So I did some work for him at his house. I went to his house. It's a Portuguese guy. I met his wife. He's giving me a tour of the house. The house looks like a regular house on the outside. Nice, manicured in a nice area. Regular house. When you go inside the garage, he has a Bentley that he takes his wife to church every Sunday. He has everything he needs, but nobody will know it. Nobody will know it. So it comes to show in this life, how you want to be perceived is how you will be perceived. You want to be rich and famous and powerful, that comes with a price. You want to be rich and humble, that comes with a price. Everything comes with a price. So you reap what you sow. I'm a DJ. I'm a DJ. I love for as many people in the world to know who I am. Right? I'm in the business of entertainment. But guess what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to lower my value to make more money. For what? I'm grounded. I'm not better than anybody. I don't want to be better than anybody. I don't need to be. Some people want, need, and have to be better than their so-called friends or their so-called associates. I don't know what it is, but they don't see the hard work.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm telling you. If I could put a finger on it, man. Some people come up to you, man, he's lucky, man. Look at this, man. He's lucky. Joey,
You mentioned this earlier,
Yeah.
right? And it's funny that you
Mhm.
mentioned this earlier. This next slide that comes up talks about what you talked about in the beginning. Excuse me. The emotional cost of unbalanced expectations. You talked about expectations, so we're going to rush through this slide. But I want you
Yeah.
to elaborate on this: the impact of unmet expectations, the cycle of overextending, adjusting expectations, and setting emotional boundaries. You talked about this earlier without knowing about this slide.
Yeah.
Elaborate on this. This is your
Look,
arena.
like we've been saying here, there's a lot of things here that we've been talking about today that has to do with emotions. Emotions control us. Emotions makes us have this conversation right now. If we didn't give a damn about it, we'd all be watching sports. This is an emotional conversation. This isn't a who's right or who's wrong conversation. This is a let's try to figure this out conversation. You see what I'm saying? So emotions always run, and I'm only speaking from a male perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because we're three men here, so I'm pretty sure that we could identify on certain principalities of manhood. And most of the time, being a minority plays a factor in some of this emotionality that we have. It's just part of the game. So we can't get beat by another man on unequal grounds. You see what I'm saying? Because it's always a losing fight. But it's never been it's never been a fair playing field. So you're never at an advantage. We seem like we're always at a disadvantage, right? That's our emotions. Our emotions kick in. One person might have a drinking problem. The other person might have a gambling problem. The third guy, he's just a good, hardworking guy. Doesn't believe in nothing. He's just work home, work home. You got the fourth guy who's a devout Christian. The fifth guy is a devout Muslim. Blah 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 blah. We have all these different titles that we feel, and what we think there's no emotion in there. If there's no emotion, if it's not emotional, I'm a very emotional person. I'm loud. I'm aggressive to a point, and I understand that, and I've learned to understand that. But my aggression doesn't come because I want to be aggressive. My aggression comes from survival of the fittest. Survival of the fittest. When you see the strong survive and you see the weak go down, you have to figure out where you fit in. So you have emotions. So we have emotions. There's times, Hamilton, how many times have we had conversations, our own conversations, and we have to tell each other, I don't take it that way. That's emotion.
Yes. Indeed.
That's our emotions. And if we can't have that conversation, Hamilton, then what the F are we talking about? It's right, because you know what? Sometimes my temper might run hot. Sometimes your temper might run hot. Your temper's running hot. So emotionally, you're ready. And then I'm like, yo, Hammer, chill, man. What are you doing, man? Come, maybe sit your ass down, man. Calm down, right? Emotionally, I'm trying to reach to you, but I understand, because I understand I could be that way too. I could get hot under a collar, and you're like, yo, Joey, man, would you calm your wild ass down? God damn it, Hampton, man, I want to choke somebody. Yeah, but you're not going to do it now, man. Shut up and go sit down. Okay, cool, whatever. And I might even cuss you out over it, but that's all emotion. And we're men, and there's no more code. I'm sorry to say it. There's no more code amongst men. So we have to be emotional. When somebody says something slick to us now, we on defense. We're always on defense. When we're driving down the street and you see the police car pull up behind you, I didn't break no laws. I'm not a criminal. I'm not wanted. I don't have nothing in the car, but I still have a fear.
To continue with this, people, the numbers on the bottom of the screen there, 339-235-6774, 339-235-6774. Please call in and voice your opinion. We're having a deep conversation about friendship and trust and so on and so forth. Tune in, call in and tune into the show. And Jamil, I want you to finish off this slide here, the emotional cost of unbalanced expectation, impact of unmet expectations, cycle of overextending, adjusting expectations, selling emotion, boundaries. Come on, Jamil. It's your turn.
Yeah, like my brother said, there was a time when men could control their emotions.
Mm-hmm.
But now, with all this modern stuff going on, it's like everybody's emotional. Everybody have to be understood. Oh, that's his emotions and stuff. But back in those days, let me quote Benjamin Franklin said, "A man who can't control his emotions cannot control anybody. Cannot control other people, or anything. But today, anything, period. But today, we are all emotional. We are told it's okay to be emotional. They tell us it's okay to be emotional nowadays. All these liberals telling you it's okay to be emotional. You have the right to be emotional. It's fine to be emotional. No, it's not. My parents told me, if you get the emotion all out there, people will see your weakness and they will join on you. And that happened with me. Back in South Africa, a lot of people who know me know I can get very emotional, right? And I boom, my temper flare. But we were told that's not cool. We were told by our parents, our grandparents, we were told by our neighbors, by our school teachers. The school teachers will tell you that's not cool. But today your school teacher tell you it's okay to be emotional. Go ahead, vent. What the vent? Be all emotional. I don't like the way you're doing that. You teacher, I don't like the way you're talking to me. And teacher said, go ahead, vent. And the principal will come in, hear the noise, and the principal will come in and say, what's going on? And the teacher will say, oh, he's venting. And the principal will say, oh, go ahead, vent and leave. Back in the day, they would cane the shit out of us for venting, Yeah. With all this new stuff going on, boom. Everywhere, even in Africa now, they talk like that, It's okay for men to be emotional. Where in Africa, it was taboo for men to show, store emotions like that.
All right.
No, but go ahead, Milton.
Hold that thought, because we're going into the next topic.
I will hold that thought.
Growth, discernment, and real connection. Growth, discernment, and real connection. We're going to discuss the outgrowing people without making them enemy. Outgrowing people without making them the enemy. Natural process of growth, compassionate release, reframing outgrowing, and emotional maturity. Continue on, Jamil. Continue on.
Well, you know what? They say that a flower can't choose the weather. Flower don't decide on the weather.
Yeah.
The flower don't decide on the weather, but it can choose to grow. It can choose to grow. So it's expected from people for you to stay the same. You know, who do you think you are when you make just a little move upwards? Who do you think you are? That's the weather. That people around you that's always object to your growth, get mad because you're growing. That's the weather, you know. Moving on, that's choosing to grow. Because if you have an opportunity to make something of yourself, but you're afraid to take that opportunity because you're afraid that Johnny and Susan and Suraya and Muhammad are going to be mad at you, and now you're not going to take that opportunity. So you're going to stay at the same level, and Muhammad is going to grow past you. You know, they say, oh, there's people they would like to see you prosper, but not better than them. You know, they would like you to grow, but not higher than them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the flower have to choose to grow and not concentrate on the weather. So the best thing to do is if you outgrow people, outgrow them. If they're upset, let them go. They bad weather. They do good weather for you. And besides, you know, they not gonna make you. They not gonna make you sign. So if you're gonna sign, sign. Let them go. Set the boundaries. You know, this is the boundaries. I'm growing. If you don't want to grow with me, go to y'all. If you don't want to stop me from going, stay out of my way. Even if I have to get a court order, restraining order to keep you away from me. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
People have to not be afraid to grow and wonder what other people's going to say. I was an alcoholic a long time ago. So if I say, oh, I'm a therapist now, you know, I'm a clinician. Yeah, but there was a time when you was a drunkard. No, there was that time. I've grown since. And you still
Yeah.
stuck in that. And you expect
Yeah.
me to be stuck in that time too? No, you grow. The flower cannot decide on the weather, but the flower can choose to grow.
Interesting.
Remember that?
Joey, I need you to elaborate on this. Outgrowing people without making them the enemy, natural processes of growth, compassionate release, reframing, outgrowing, emotional maturity. But before you start giving your point of view, I'm going to give my point of view. Outgrowing people without making them enemy. You're going to outgrow people in life, and you're going to outgrow people for many reasons. So if you want to be a doctor, you're going to want to hang around with 5 doctors, and then you're going to end up being the 6th doctor. You want to be a basketball player, you're going to hang around with basketball players. But prior to that, you're going to grow up with a group of people, group of kids that are eventually going to go their separate ways in professions, so on and so forth. Not necessarily the 5 doctors are your friends, but that's the circle that you want to be in if you want to be a doctor. Or a basketball player, you're going to be in a circle of basketball players. In my opinion, you can't go back to people that are not gravitating to you. Okay, you have your core friends, Jamil and Joe. You guys are one of my 2 of my core friends, okay? And we're on the same
Thank you,
wavelength.
brother. Thank you.
We're going in the right direction in life, so on and so forth. So you guys are going to be in my seats, you know. But there's people, you know, Joey, that we grew up with that, you know, I love them to death, but we can't just hang out with them anymore. You know what I mean? But if I see them on the streets or someplace, I'm gonna gladly say hello or shake their hands. But it's just you got to be in a circle that's going to allow you to progress as well. But go ahead, Joey. I'm sorry for holding you off.
No, you didn't hold me off. Hammer, you got to remember, love is never lost. And for those who didn't pay attention to the lessons, I'm not going to pay the toll for them. I'm not going to pay the toll for nobody, because you know something? I hear all the stories, the hardships, the the hardships, the struggles, the trials, the tribulations, the common spiel, right? Those who didn't pay attention didn't pay attention. It's not from an economic standpoint, it's from a moral standpoint. Emotions and morality, remember that. It all ties together. Think about it. We are complex people, so it's complex solutions for complex peoples. And we're not meant to understand everything. We're never meant to understand everything. There's some things I'm never going to understand in this world. I might try until the day that I die, and I might not get it. But there's things I pick up in 2 seconds just like that, and we can move forward. So I'm not going to pay a toll for who wasn't paying attention. Yes, we grew up with a lot of people, a lot of talented people, God-gifted people.
Mm-hmm.
Some chose to use their gifts. Some chose not to. I always consider myself as lucky. And the reason why I consider myself as lucky is because there must be something that makes me take a left when I take a left. There must be something that makes me take a right when I take a right. I don't know what it is. I'm still trying to figure out, but I believe it because I walked those same streets. I had those same struggles. I had those same hardships. I saw it through the same lens. And for some reason, I paid attention.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't just live through it. I learned from it.
Not the lessons, yeah.
And I want, right. And the person that I was 25 years ago, I don't like that person. I don't like the person I was 25 years ago. You're not supposed to like the person that you was 25 years ago if you've actually grown, because it's not regret, it's reflect. Ooh, damn, look where I started. Damn, back in the day I would do that, but today I wouldn't even think of that. What was that? What was I thinking? Self-accountability is the only growth that we need. We're gonna be as it may. Do you know that some of the happiest people in the world are some of the poorest people who don't have one thing? Where's their growth? You see what I'm saying? So growth is defined in all different ways. This, like I said, I don't like the person I was 25 years ago. And it's not that I don't like that person, because that person led me to be who I am today. And those were the lessons. But I don't like some of the decisions I made. I had to right the wrongs that I made, because there was wrongs that I had to right them. I had to figure out a way to do it so I could live with myself and grow. You see what I'm saying? You could try to help people grow, but it's just like Jamal says, man. You got to choose it, man. You got to want it. You got to want to change your situation for your own mental well-being. Because if you have any sense of security, any sense of morality with you, you can't just sit idle. You can't just sit idle. You have to try. At least you have to try. It doesn't matter if you make it or you don't make it, but you got to get up and try to chop this tree of life down. You know, that's the growth.
All right. We're getting to the end of the show. We're getting to the end of the show, and then hold that thought, Jamil.
Mm-hmm.
Our last slide here that goes into our reflection and conclusion. This is the first to last slide. Okay, we're going to talk about recognizing and valuing the real ones. We're going to talk about consistent and genuine support, honest feedback, rooted in care, valuing relationships through reciprocity. And then at the end, we're going to have a closing reflection, becoming someone who shows up. All right, Jamil, you take charge on this.
Oh, because I just wanted to just quickly go back. You see, when I stopped drinking, the alcoholic, the day I decided, I lost all my friends. Everybody turned against me because they realized I'll be able to reflect now, I'll be able to grow. I lost them all. I went to this old lady, Mustaliat. I said, Mustaliat, I stopped drinking, I lost all my friends. You know what Mustaliat said? She said, there's 7 billion people in this world. Are you telling me you can't make 7 new friends out of 7 billion? 7, you know?
That's wisdom.
Yeah.
That's
So what
wisdom.
I did, I reflected and said, look who's still in my corner. There was like a handful of people. I can name you by names: Anthea Burley, Valdila de Vries, David Fredericks, Douglas Wachenstrom. 4 people were still in my corner, right? So I said 4 out of 7 billion people on this earth is not bad, right? And I
No.
appreciated that friendship. And it's a that friendship that helped me grow further, you know, that I outgrow all the people that dumped me when I stopped drinking. So Hamilton, what was the next question? Oh, sorry.
What happened? We lost Hamilton? Where
I'm
did
here.
the host go? Hey,
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
Jamil.
Yeah. So yeah.
We're gonna the
what are
slide.
you doing over there, man?
Yeah.
So, you know, we're talking about valuing relationships through reciprocity, and you already talked about that.
Mhm.
And then we're Joey's gonna elaborate on this slide before we go to closing reflection. So, Joey, let's talk about recognizing and valuing the real ones.
Recognizing the real ones right now, it depends in which state of mind one is in. In the state of my mind, I believe I had a lot of wisdom, you know, for the going on 49 years that I've been kicking. I turned 49 this year. I think I've achieved a lot of wisdom, but not enough. You see what I'm saying? I know who my friends are, and I realize it because it's not on the darkest days they show up and say what's up, or the happy days or nothing. It's just the consistency. You know, your real friends are a pain in your ass. They really are.
Mhm.
But you love them.
Mhm.
But you love them. You see what I'm saying? Your real friends are a pain in the ass. But you love them because you need that.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
You don't need perfect
So-
people in your life. Yeah. Mhm.
No, absolutely not.
Mhm.
So recognizing the real ones is, again, all these things that led up to this: trust, action, emotion, morality, where they coming from, where they going, growth. All of it is a part, but the equation depends on the beholder. If you're easy, if you're gullible, then your trust, everybody's a real one. When you're gullible, right? But when you have a little bit more wisdom and you have a certain self-value, you have to start with your own self-value. Because if you don't value yourself, you can't reevaluate anybody to recognize real. You recognize a real man when you see a real man. You recognize a real woman when you see one, because the way they carry themselves.
So
The way they carry themselves.
we're gonna talk about closing reflections, becoming someone who shows up. I want to summarize this whole podcast. Okay,
Mhm.
we basically talked about understanding real support and friendship, the impact of silence and hidden support, growth and discernment and real connection, and my closing reflection on this is encouraging self-reflection, commitment to support, and protecting emotional space. And basically, gravitate to people that gravitate to you. You know, um, don't chase after relationships. Don't chase after friendships. If you have to call someone several times to be your friend or communicate with you or what have you, it's a sign that that person doesn't want to communicate. And you
Mhm.
have to learn how to forgive the person, forgive yourself, and move on. And I'm not saying ignore the person afterwards, but quite frankly, you have to find a circle that gravitates to you, and don't waste your energy or time or emotional space. Your emotional space is valuable, very valuable.
Valuable, yeah.
Yes,
And if you don't have friends
yes.
that are committed to your support or committed to supporting you and encourage your yourself, you know, that's not a circle to be in. You need to find another circle.
Mhm.
And if your circle's not pushing you to be a better person, if your circle
Mhm.
um, instilling in you good perception of yourself, helping you with your self esteem and self value, that's not a person to be with or a person to be around with. And you have to cut that person off, in a sense that uncategorize that person, put them in a lower category. Because we need everyone in this world. We need everyone in society. Because sooner or later, you're going to need that person for something. So I'm not saying ignore the person. When I say cut them off, I mean downgrade them. Because we all need each other. We all need each other's skill set. Sooner or later, you're going to need that person, and vice versa. So downgrading people and upgrading others that gravitate to you is just my closing reflection. And
Mm.
that's considered me becoming someone who shows up for a friend. But Jamil, what's
Mm.
your closing reflection on today's podcast?
Well, like it says over there, the self reflection. If you cannot be honest with yourself and reflect on the way you do things, the way you relate to others, if you can't do those kind of things, reflect on your own shortcomings and your strengths and your weaknesses and learn from that reflection, then if I can't do that, then I'm not in a position to judge, other people's difference if I'm not willing to do an honest reflection. Was I there for my friend when he needed me? Did I think about myself or did I think about the collective? You know? So friendship is not just we all buddies, we get together, we solve for each other and all that stuff. If one cannot reflect on one's own shortcomings and one's own strength within that friendship, how you what you give, what you take. So that comes down to also to boundaries. Do you set healthy boundaries for your friendships? You know, is the boundaries? Do you set one-sided boundaries that I can do that to my friends, but my friends can't do that to me? With one-sided boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
You know, are you
Mm-hmm.
you're setting boundaries, equal boundaries. If I don't want my friend to do this to me, I shouldn't be doing that to my the same thing to my friend that I don't want my friend to do to me. If I want my friend to be there for me at times when I'm down, I should be there for my friend when at times when I'm down, without putting undue burden on my friend and without putting undue burden on myself. You know, because we all human beings, we have shortcomings, we have weaknesses, we have all the stuff. Each individual, all the crap that is wrong with human beings, and all the crap that is good with human beings. So we're not perfect. We strive for perfection, but we're not perfect. So boundaries, all of that, what you expect from it should be equitable, but without putting you know, undue burdens on the friendship. That's what I believe. So main thing is if you can't reflect on yourself, you have no business.
All right.
No.
I got you. We
You
only
got-
we got 7 minutes left before the show adjourns. Joey, um, I need to know what your closing reflection is. Becoming someone who shows up.
Uh, Someone who shows up, sometimes it's not only showing up, because showing up is a physical thing. You see what I'm saying? Hey, I showed up. Leave me alone. Showing up is actually giving a damn
Mhm.
before you get there. You see what I'm saying? Before you get there, the positive aspirations. Um, we see it in prayer when people pray for people. That's uh, a form of showing up as well. Some could say
Yes.
showing up is more about, you don't do it of obligation. You don't do it for recognition. You don't do it for anything. You do it because that little gut feeling you got kicks in. That's there's no reason. There's no reason for it. And that's the crux of it. That's why everything, it's an ongoing thing. It's just a moving target. You know, there's no logical explanation for it. We know who we're going to show up for, and we know who's going to show up for us. We hope we know who's going to show up for us. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
We hope we know, but we know who we would show up for. So I think it's more of a reaffirming that no matter what, I got you. No matter what, I got you. No matter what, you ain't gonna go through this alone. No matter what, I have friends who have various different type of problems and whatever. But the one thing that is always free is advice. A friend is a different perspective. A friend is a different set of eyes, a different thought process. You know who to call if you're gonna go fight. You know who you're gonna call if you need some. You know what I'm saying? The friends that we have, we know. Yeah, if these two get together and it's a problem, oh, it's gonna be a real good problem. But
Yeah.
so you know what I mean.
Yep. It's gonna
So
be
we
pop.
know.
Mhm.
Yeah, we know. It's like, my sister is one of my best friends. And sometimes when I get into my mode, I'm gonna call my sister. I gotta call my sister. Not because she's my sister, but because she understands the way that I work.
Mhm.
And I understand the way that she works. And it's weird because she's that calming voice for me. She gives me a little reason. You know what I mean? And so when you do it, you just do it because you're supposed to do it. You have to do it. You want to do it. You're gonna do it. And no matter what, people got to get back to actually spending time together and camaraderie. We need camaraderie. We need civility back in the world. You see what I'm saying? That's how we show up for each other. You do good. I'm a grandparent. I don't want to do good for Hamilton anymore.
Mm.
We've had our fun. I want to do good for my grandkids, my kids, his kids, because they're the ones that we're leaving this to. That's how you show up. We take care of what we have to take care of. We do what we have to do. We fight the struggles. We go from being the dependent to the independent to the dependee. Then somebody depends on you. So it's a cycle. And we're in that cycle. And that's friendship.
Yes.
That's
yes.
friendship. That embracing everything that comes at you is friendship, because you have to be a friend to yourself before you could be a friend to anybody else.
Yes.
Honestly. You see what I'm saying? You have to be a friend to yourself first. So,
we're running out of time, guys. We've been going on almost 2 hours. It's been a beautiful, beautiful conversation, beautiful show.
yes.
I enjoy you guys participating. I'd like to tell the folks tuned in, thank you for watching the Outsiders podcast. Today we had some wonderful folks. Joe Gomes, DJ J Spinner. If you guys need DJ services, give him a shout out on his
You
page.
already know.
And Jamil Mahous, my good friend. Thank you for showing up. And we had a wonderful, wonderful time. This is the Outsiders podcast. I'm the host, Hamilton Rodriguez. Till next time.
Thank you, Hamilton. Thank you all.